Now, Warrior Continuum. I promise you I'll try to make this brief. I tend to really get into my talks. Okay, now I'm not going to break down each one of these stages or phases. Reason being, that's waiting for you at the top of the ladder, so to speak. There have been people here that have started training in Sayakali, the knife fighting. Some people have done shooting. Some people have, we've done survival training. We've done multiple attacker scenarios. We've done a lot of stuff that, like, the average, jungle gym student will never sort of get to see. Certainly will never know is really there unless I give a talk like this. All right. The people in who here is in Warrior Elite? How many people here pay extra for Warrior Elite? Again, who here is in Warrior Elite? Raise your hand. It helps with like the visual. How many of you pay extra for Warrior Elite? There's a certain point where the money stops. All right? There's a certain point where the business model stops. I run a business. Right? There are some people early on in their journey here that will never ever get past that. They'll never get to the point where the people around them know their names, know their wives' names, know their kids' names, know what they do for a living, know where they live, know what they do, go to hang out and watch fights, go to the gathering, go and BS after class, before class, go grab a bite to eat after training, before training. Like, some people never even make it to that. As it continues to grow, it gets to the point where we start covering a lot more stuff of a lot more serious nature. Okay? Believe it or not, the stuff we do here is the easy stuff. This is simple. This is, Grappler's Quest is like Romper Room in the world of the warrior. Right? It gets really, 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 really deep. And we start dealing with a subject matter that I need to sort of qualify everybody as individuals before I even share it with them. All right? So, when I say your rank is your jungle gym rank, this is the bigger picture that you're a part of. There is no one martial art that I know of, aside from maybe Sayakali, of which I'm a student myself, that really leaves stage 3 of this diagram you have. All right? Certainly Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is all captured in that one little circle. All right? So to put things in perspective, what we're trying to learn here is a lot bigger than, what happens if you get jumped, at a party, or, somebody has a one-on-one fight with you. You could spend a half an hour on YouTube and search street fight or gang violence or, gang fight or something, and you'll see all of these scenarios where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wouldn't have done a damn thing for you. All right? Now, I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, don't get it wrong. Okay, but it belongs in its proper perspective. I'm not a sports guy. I'm not. All right? The sportsters, everything begins and ends with winning a medal. Everything begins and ends with, being on top of a podium in a tournament that costs you $100 that's in New Jersey. Right? Every tournament's a world championship. The world champion, every single person in your division is from Jersey, but it's a world championship. Right? Some people need that. Some people need, and I'm going to try to hurt some feelings right now. Some people still need, at this advanced adult age, somebody to say, good job, way to go. You're the man. That was great. You're awesome. Some people still need that, My 1-year-old, right? Very similar. He still breastfeeds. Right? So some of you still breastfeed. You still need somebody else to make you feel complete, which would define you as being incomplete, right? If you need somebody else to complete you. Right? Some people are very much in love, and that's something. You complete me. You complete me. Right? So if I were to tell my wife, you complete me, that means together we're like 1 point something people. Right? Because I'm a little less than one, she's a little less than one. Right? So we're not two people. We're certainly not more than two people. As you start getting into the bigger picture of development of yourself as an individual, certainly as a warrior, and a warrior is an individual that starts to deal with the big topics, right? The survival topics, the violence topics, the provider, responsibility, accountability topics. As you start getting into those subjects, you start to realize you better at least be a complete individual. Because there are going to be situations where you plus another person needs to equal 3, needs to equal 4, needs to equal 5. Nobody enters America broke, can't speak the language, doesn't have anything but the shirt on their back, and reaches success by relying on other people telling them, good job. Way to go, you're the best. They don't need that. They have to be more than that. Right? With our kids, we want to tell them good job. Because they sort of have like an empty cup. Right? And as leaders, as mentors, we're showing them how to fill their cup. We're helping them fill their cup. But there's a certain point where, as adults, we have to stop filling people's cups for them and point out the holes in the cups. Why is it that we can never make your cup full? Where is the hole in who you are? That you give yourself enough time and you still need more. I work probably 80 hours a week. My wife would probably say 180, right? I don't come home and expect my kids or my wife to say, good job, thanks for going to work today. Why is it that as adults, there are people, I don't even say we because I'm not that person. Why is it that there are adults that still demand the pat on their back or somebody else to fill their cup before they're even willing to try and fill it on their own? So when we talk about stage 3, right, in the Warrior Continuum, it's valuable because you start facing adversity, right? You start enduring struggle. There is nothing you are ever going to develop as an individual that doesn't involve struggle, that doesn't involve you pushing through some form of adversity. But there are still people that want to try a little bit and won't continue until somebody goes over and says, good job. Right? One of my instructors in SIOP, his name is Tuhan Raphael Kayanan is his last name. He had a funny thing. He said he was going to make a hoodie that had 2 hands, like on the back, with 2 strings here. And those people was going to be like a therapy tool, that whenever they did something that was a good job, instead of asking somebody else, they would just pull the strings. Right? His idea, by the way, amazing idea. But if you start to think of it that way, in a situation like this, right, an environment like this, it's easy because you could say, yeah, those people are crazy. Right? We know who we are. We know on this very mat, in this very room, who of you still need people to say good job. as life gets more sophisticated, it gets more complicated. And you start to allow yourself to become confused in the very simple things that you were born with. Okay? Now, let me give you a scenario. There's a hallway, right? This is a hallway. This mat right here is a hallway. There is a lion at the end of the hallway, and there is a door here. And I'm standing here, the lion sees me, starts yelling. What do I have to do? Go in the door, right? What if the door is hard to open? Should I stop? Should I at any point just say, let the lion eat me? Would I, should I, and therefore would I do everything in my power to open the door? Well now, let's say the lion is crippled. Can't move, can't bite you, can't lunge at you, doesn't have any claws. Can't do any of that. And I know this. I know that there's no threat. I can't get out, but the lion can't run and get me. It's just laying there. Am I going to have as much certainty and deliberate sort of panic in my movements and commitment as I did before? No. Now, the lion's dead. Do I still have a panic to move in? So you see what happens as the threat, the immediate threat changes, our sense of urgency diminishes. So now when you get into the sort of confusing, complex, sophisticated life that we all lead, we don't see any of the threats. So we never kick down the door to so much of our potential that is right next to us. Because we still need something to threaten us. I get the door halfway open. Lion's about to make a move. Quick, somebody pat me on my back before I can open this the whole way. In that very simple situation, it's ridiculous. But when you're here, when you're at work, when you're out in life, and you're doing the things that are going to get you ahead, why are you waiting for somebody else to tell you to open the door? Why does somebody have to convince you to be better? Why is it that somebody else has some sort of responsibility on developing your potential? How is 1 + 1 ever going to equal more than 2 if I'm sitting here waiting for something from another person? I have to be complete and then some. Some people have formulas, right? Some people have lifestyles, have codes of conduct that they live by. And they pay attention to it and they constantly try an improvement. And the good thing about that is that you will eventually get to where you want to be because you are paying attention to what you are doing. Some people, every day is done a different way. And they build on nothing. Their friendships are shallow. This guy's my best friend. Really? He's your best friend? Yes. If you or him are in a room with a room full of lions and he has the option to get out, does he get out? Well, I don't know. He's your best friend. Do you want him to get out? Would you want him to stay so you could leave? Now, I can start drawing scenarios, right? Moral hypotheticals that start making people feel really uncomfortable. Right? I won't, because not everybody here is a student. And I like making my students cry, but not anybody else. Right? But let's just say there are scenarios and situations that we can't even fathom. We don't even want to think about because it's too painful. Because it's too painful. I would argue that a lot of the things that we need to do to improve our potential aren't too painful. A lot of these concepts aren't too painful. It's just that nobody wants to admit that you're too weak to endure it. It's somebody else. Somebody else is doing this. This isn't me. This is unfair. unfair. Some of you are still waiting for fairness in the world. That's how far behind the curve you are. Tell the crack baby about fairness. Right? I know you didn't mean to laugh about crack babies. That was more like a word up laugh. Tell the children that are born into famine and AIDS in Africa about fairness. Right? There is no fairness. What game are you playing? One of my favorite sayings happens to be one of my own. The only thing you deserve is reality. That is the only thing you deserve, is reality. Right? You walk outside and some guy challenges you to a fight and you get your jiu-jitsu ready and he does this and his hands start glowing. It's okay, pal, this is bullshit. That's unfair. That's unfair. All right, I'll let you say it in a situation like that. But as long as we're in reality, stop looking for fairness. Stop looking for somebody else to fill your cup. Literally, look at those people that are walking around asking people to put stuff in their cup. How do we think about them? Right? Some of us, right? Some of us like, oh, I got change, I'll just give him change. Yeah, because that's going to help him. That's going to make him want to fill his cup more by putting some more money in it. That makes sense. Well, I look at the people that need that pat on the back like that. Sometimes I give pats on the back. But it should get to the point, and you'll see this with the more senior guys in the jungle gym. The people that have been training, that have been training the Warrior Continuum for years now. You'll see when I compliment them, they almost raise an eyebrow. Because they think I'm messing with them. Because they don't need that. I can't change everybody. Right? I can't change everybody. I can go to a certain position and say, you're welcome to come meet me here. But I can't do it for you. I can't take your hands and feet and climb the ladder. You have to do that. Okay? Now, what started as a Warrior Continuum talk, basically like segued into the topic, and I knew I can't trust myself. But the bigger picture that I wanted to convey is the rank that we have in the Warrior Continuum refers to stage 3, right? That's it. That's the only thing you get rank for. Is there rank in the other ones? No. Why? Because once you get through a stage, you don't need. By the time I'm showing you the other ones, you're already somebody that doesn't need that. Right? What's your belt in wrestling? What's your belt in boxing? What's your belt in being a policeman? What's your belt in being a jogger? What's your belt? Like, we don't apply that type of thinking to anything else. Break down each individual one in detail. Right? That's waiting for you. Right? If you don't have it yet, because it hasn't been given to you. Right? It will be. Stay here long enough, it will be. Do the right thing, it will be. Right? But it's not my job to just fill your cup before you even have a chance to fill it yourself. Alright? Good talk, guys. Thank you.